Namaste, Stouffville. Hi, it's Kendra here. I'm going to do a series of quick videos. One, it can be almost looked at that we're inviting you in, we're giving you a time or a moment to experience what I teach, and also to kind of create a little bit of unity around, hopefully for the community as a whole. And so this will be a little series of some offerings that I'll do online. I'm not sure the forum, probably Facebook, maybe YouTube, we'll see. I'm not quite sure how that all works. I have to explore that myself. So the studio here at 7 Library Lane is currently closed. And I do have a lot of older clients, and I do have a daughter who just returned back from France. So this is my only means at the moment for at least the next couple of weeks, and then we'll see how it goes from there. So I wish everybody good health, hold on, be kind, be compassionate, be understanding, take your time, and take a lot of deep breaths. If this is a very stressful time for all of us, because there's a lot implemented or implicated in this for later on. So we'll see how it goes. Let's take one day at a time right now. So to start for tonight, let's bring our feet and just root down into the ground. I always love my tree in the background. I use that as a symbol for us rooting and almost developing like little tendrils, grabbing on to Mother Earth and diving down into the depths of the earth. So if you want to take a nice tall straight spine, and it's a time to find stability in your grounding. So maybe lift the toes, plant the toes, drop back into the heels. And I do have a lot of flexibility in my teaching. So you need to feel this. I'm not here personally to look at your posture. So you need to maybe sway a little bit back and forth and find your center, maybe left or right. See what feels balanced for you. And this is going to bring us back into balance, and that's the whole beauty of this practice. So let's bring the balance into the hands now. Anjali Mudra. And the Anjali Mudra can be also seen like as bringing the left and the right brain together. So we're bringing both halves of the body. We have these energy lines that are on either side, and then of course our center channel. And bringing that back in, and that sort of brings in the chakras. I'm sorry, I wasn't even going to talk about that. So we'll, but I do courses and teach on that, on the chakra and energetic systems. So I'll get out of that now. And let's continue. So let's lift up to the sky. Inhale up to the sky. Bring the palms together if that's available to you. So, and bring it down as we exhale. Feel into your body. If you have mobility issues, I do teach a lot of modified practices, but please let me know or connect, because I can guide you to the right practice for you. Please watch your mobility. Please, be careful and be sensible with any practice that you take online. Inhale, lift up to the sky again. And exhale, bring it down through Sushumna Nadi and into the heart. So let's inhale. Let's do a half salutation up to the sky. We're going to fold forwards, reach down to the ground. Inhale, lengthen up halfway. Exhale, drop the head, neck, and shoulders towards the ground. Inhale, lift through the arms up to the sky and bring that down into the center. If you've never done any yoga before, just monitor the depth that you bend or fold at, and make sure that you're doing it in a safe manner. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, down, all the way up and into the heart. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, down, all the way up and into heart. 2 more times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, crown of the head towards the ground. Lengthen and lift to the sky. Center the heart. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. And exhale, down. All the way up and into the heart. Drop the hands. Let's cross the hands in front. So one wrist in front of the other. Lift through center. Open as much as, or whatever is available for your shoulders, and drop it down. And do that again, but crossing the opposite way. So lifting up, inhale. Use the breath. Exhale, around and open through the shoulders. Inhale, lift through center channel. And exhale, open the heart. Inhale, lift. And this time as we come around, we're going to scoop down with the knees. So we're just gonna, little squat, almost a little bit of chair pose, and then we're gonna lift up and bring movement into that. Hopefully this shows on the video. Fold it down or squat, and then bring the opposite wrists up. And let's do one more. So open, bring it down, cross and lift. And then finally open, squat down and bring it into chair. So we're gonna hold chair pose. Just do a little side version of this. So we're holding, we're squatting, we're sitting, we're sticking the butt out a bit. We're bringing the weight up and down. You're gonna look down. You need to see your toes still. If you only see knees, you're too far forward. So bring those knees back. Make sure the knees are just over the toes or that you can see them. And a little bit of a forward fold with the upper body. See what's available to you. Lift to the sky and bring it into the heart. Let's take warrior one. Drop the right foot back, left foot forwards, and take a little bit of space that the hips can open. So if you have the heel, there is a practice that does this. That's fine if that's your practice. But I like to instruct people to have a little bit of hip width distance just for safety, especially if you haven't done it before. And it's just for balance too. It works. We can go a little deeper. We can hold a little longer. Bend into the front knee. Make sure the shin is perpendicular. I don't like to see, just anatomically, don't like to see the knee out in front of the toes. So we're gonna just lift the arms up, drop the shoulders down, tone and tuck the tummy in. I'm a bad one for that. So lift and hold, soften. Where are we gonna soften? The upper shoulders. They're holding strong, but there's a sweetness to this pose too. So drop the back hip down, maybe square the hips off a little bit if that feels comfortable for you. And go with your body. If you're a little high or a little twisted, it might be that it's just not open right yet. So honor where you are in your body and in your ability to do any of these moves. Let's open to goddess arms, elbows out, and press back a little bit to open the heart. Take a couple of breaths here, nice and deeply into the chest muscles, the lungs. And every time we kind of open or breathe into the lungs, it's almost like it gives the heart a little hug. Let's exhale, bring the hands behind, open and roll those shoulders back and down. If this is not available, I'm interlacing my fingers, but if it's not available, you can just sort of maybe have the hands to the hips and draw the elbows back. And then we're going to fold forwards over, so humble warrior. Looking down at the big toe if that's available. If this is where you are or this is where you are, it's all good. You go to where it's safe. You go to where it's available. I'm going to go a little further, and I'm able to lift my arms up, and I can tell they're a little stiff today, so that's okay. And I just do what I can, breathing into it. Focusing, I'm not sure if we can hear, your head should be kind of in line. I'm only lifting mine so that the microphone gets my voice. And then we're gonna lift up and back to our warrior one. Okay, so hold a little bit. We've been here a bit, eh? You can feel it. So start to feel it. Start to notice what's going on in the body. Where am I holding tension that I don't need to hold, right? Where am I, rigidly holding something that doesn't need to be held? Can I relax into this? Can I soften into this? Can I maybe even strengthen through the feet? Bring that pose up through the feet to the tips of the fingers. See how that energy works. Open, and then we're going to come forwards. So let's do the other side. Step it back. Good 2.5 feet, I think, or 3 feet. The back foot has a little bit of an angle on it. The front knee is facing forwards. You don't want it collapsing in or out. Bring the arms up, drop the shoulders down, warrior one. Find balance in between. Is most of your weight in the front foot or is it in the back foot? Feel into where you can adjust to bring the most balance. It's not 100% 50-50, but it will be, there is a certain flow, a certain set that you can feel into. Drop those shoulders down, lift the heart. And maybe your gaze can kind of be at a 45 up. A lot of times it's sort of where the ceiling meets the wall. Hold here. Soften in but lengthen up, if that makes sense. We're kind of strengthening and softening at the same time. So we are holding this firm. This is not, I'm not soft like meaning weak. I'm strong. You can come push me. Please don't. but I'm strong into my feet, into my knees, into my hips, into my heart, into my shoulders, into the tips of my fingertips. But I'm strong there in all those points. So the major joints, I'm feeling strong. I'm soft into my elbows. I'm soft into my belly. I'm softer into the knees and the back of the knees. I'm soft into the instep. I'm pulling up a little bit, but also just allowing it to balance. Holding here. One more breath. And then we're going to open. Open the heart even more if you can. And then interlace the fingers behind. So, if you interlace the fingers the last time, we tend to have a comfortable way of doing it. Now switch it. So thumb switch, first finger, second, third, fourth fingers. And you've got the funny way I usually call it. So go the funny way. Inhale, lift the heart. Lift through the back of the neck, so we're not taking the head back, we're kind of taking it up, chin up. Take a nice deep breath and then fold wherever it feels available or wherever it feels comfortable. And sometimes it's a challenge, and that's good. It's good to take the challenge, but we don't want to go further than our end range, because then you hurt yourself and it's no fun. So just go to wherever you can take this today, and wherever you can find balance. Bring balance in. A couple of breaths here. 2. 1 more. Inhale, lift through the heart, lift up. Drop those elbows or the shoulders, into the sockets. And it's almost like you've got this beach ball here, right? So I often talk about my ball of joy, my sparkly ball of joy that we hold up here. And it's like, it makes me smile. so bring in the sparkly ball of joy, why not? And holding and then allowing that to drag down. Bring it forward, step through. Inhale, lift to the sky. And let's do a fold forwards, down to the ground. Inhale halfway. Exhale down. All the way up. And into the heart. Okay. So now I gotta think, because we're sort of talking about balance. So let's balance. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm gonna do this. I'm very bad at balancing, especially in front of anybody. But there's nobody here, right? Just you and me. Okay, so you're gonna hold a wall. I totally think you need to hold a wall when you're starting out. Turn for tree. Of Of course we're gonna do tree. Look at this beautiful tree I have here, right? So we're gonna do tree, turn the knee out, lift the foot to the calf and just not on the knee. So when we're practicing balance, actually, to be honest, I usually step off the mat because I find more structure on the floor, not as squishy on the mat. But when you are balancing, you bring it into that mid-calf. Here, yeah, it's like there's like a nice little rest point on there, but it can damage the knee and it's gonna put pressure where you don't need it. If you're experienced, then you're already doing this while I'm talking and you can go up to your higher focus. So if you're gonna try it without the ball, you need to root down into whichever foot you choose. You're gonna lift, you're gonna strengthen into your core. It's gonna come, your weight is already, you're bringing everything into the midline to hold this. And then we're turning the knee out. Your tree can be still down on the ground here, right? It can be up against the ankle. It can be to the calf. Or some people are able to go a little higher. I kind of wobble too much, so I won't do that today. But bring it in, open, the hands. And we've probably done a lot if you've been doing this while I've been talking. So I do tend to hold it a little longer. So we're gonna come up for 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and gracefully exit as much as possible. Switch feet. So root, draw the tailbone down too. Lengthen, lift even almost like a marionette. That you've got this kind of string coming up from the crown of the head. And we're just going to drop the hip down, but we're not raising this one. We're not tilting up to get this leg up. We're dropping that down too. And it's just an opening. It's just an opening. So root into the ground, press in, lift it up any amount, and find the space in the center. We probably have maybe 2 more to match off of the other side. I don't think I talked as long this side. When you can, bring it up to the sky, drop the shoulders in, and hold for 5. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Open up and drop it down. So if that was really difficult, don't feel too bad. Usually hydration is a big thing which I probably should have done before, but hydration for any kind of balance, any kind of practice. Remember that we need hydration for our brain, our body. We're made of water and we need to feed it that water to have everything optimal. All right, inhale, lift to the sky. Exhale, folding forwards down to ground. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, down. All the way up and in. Let's do a little bit of just a standing stretch. So we're going to bring the arms to the sky. So hopefully your shoulders are good for this. If you need to, you bend your elbows. Fine. If you need to, you bring it into the heart. You do what is most beneficial for yourself. We're going to go to the side and do a little crescent curve here. Not doing moon salutations yet, but I will bring those in this week or possibly on the weekend. And then over to the other side. Nice big stretch. And it should feel good, and just let that go. So we're going to do that again, but we're going to taking one leg, doesn't really matter which, but take one leg behind. Doesn't have to be that far, it can just be a little bit. But I think there's better balance if we take it a little further. So we're going to take it up, inhale, and then we're going to drop that. So I've got my left foot behind, or your left foot behind, and the right arm drops, and then we're going to lengthen and lift the left side over here. Just a nice little stretch. Lift up and bring it see, together. And then we're going to go over to the other side. So a bit of a good step back. We're going to lift up to the sky, both hands to start. And then Drop your left hand and stretch and reach the right one over. Lengthen through the side. So you want the lengthening on this side to be occurring, and bring it in. Okay? All right, inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, down. And all the way up. And in. Beautiful. So let's do our other little stretch like that. So we're going to take your left foot, bring it in around behind. So that's, this one you do be careful if you've got knee issues. Kind of probably don't do this actually, because it's online. Don't do it if you have knee issues. But then you can, do maybe it together and bend and do chair instead for this part. So if you don't have knee issues, bring it in behind, hands to the hips, lift the heart, fold forwards, halfway perhaps. Crown of the head should be towards the front of your room. And then if you have a little more mobility, we're going to reach to the ground and let the neck lengthen. Let it go, folding over here. Sticking the butt back if that works for you. But be careful, the back knee is going to be stretched, the hamstring is going to be stretched. This is kind of for your TFL, the iliotibial band. The TFL has a little bit in there, but it's more of a stretch for the lower part and the hamstring. And then we're going to come up, bring it in, and we're going to bring it into the heart, and then you're softening your knees to unwind. So don't kind of just like jam it out. Soften, bend at the knees, bring it out. Just want to be safe. So, and this is a strenuous one on the knees. Again, knee problems, don't do this. Bring the other leg in behind. Unless you've done it with me before and we've modified it. Then you guys know who you are. And lift to the sky. Breathe it in, bring it down into the heart, centering ourselves again. Bring the hands to the hips. Inhale, lift. We're going to fold forwards, reaching down, halfway perhaps. Stabilize a little bit there, as much as you can, and then reach down to the ground. Lengthen and hold. Kind of take those nice deep breaths, right? Any inversion, you want to breathe deeply. You want to be able to kind of allow the system to soften and relax along with a strong stretch. One more. And then we're going to soften the knees even as you come up if you need to. At any point you soften those knees, which is like a micro bend. I'm talking about a slight bend and into the heart. Unwind. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, we're looking at the ground, so why not go there? Let's do down dog. I'm going to assume most people know it, but if you don't, hands down, go into it while I'm talking, and then step the feet back, and we can pedal. We can just sort of alternate the knees, bending the hips, swishing back and forth a little bit until you find your center, until you find that stance where, yeah, it feels good, and then you can draw back. Draw the hips towards the back wall and hold. So here we do let the head go. We let the shoulders kind of, there's a lot of resting here. This is actually considered normally a rest. But when we first start out, this can be quite strong. So just feel into what you need out of it. Feet hip width, hands shoulder width. At least fingers spread wide so we connect with the earth, connect with the ground. Breathing in, breathing out. We're going to bring the knees down and come into a child's pose. Famous rest for most. But again, there might be reasons why that doesn't work for you. So take it one step at a time. Allow your body to adjust to each pose, all right? So if we're in child's pose, there's I'll go through a couple different ways. If you're a student of mine, you know what you like, so just hold it. We're going to bring the knees together. We're bringing the arms behind and lengthening down. You can rest the forehead if it reaches. You can grab the heels if that's available. You can bring the arms out in extended child's pose. Fingers, we walk them forwards until they don't go anymore, and then you soften into those arms, but still try and keep the hips into the heels. And finally, if needed, and a lot of times actually I do practice wide angle. I love to let my belly go through. I need space some days. So we do tend to do this for different reasons. So wide angle opens the hips a bit. So if you're stiff in the hips, that's a good idea, that we can get some opening in the hips. But if you're looking to expand the breath and stretch the low back, then you may want to keep the knees closed because there's more lengthening that can happen through that. So again, child's pose is kind of like tree. I let people go wherever they want in the studio when we practice tree. Child's pose, I let everybody do your own child's pose. So I'm just offering up different ideas about modifying child's pose. I don't have a bolster close, but you can take a bolster in the middle here or a big pillow from home and lengthen and rest on it too. So however you feel, whatever you'd like to do, it's all available. Take another breath here. And then we're gonna come up, plant the hands. We're kind of doing like almost like a backwards reverse flow, but plant hands for cat-cow. So if you know your cat-cow, hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, lengthen through the top crown of the head. I just might come forward so that my voice carries. And drop the belly down. So drop the belly down, lift the heart and chin, hold. Tuck the belly up and under and lift for cat-cow. Drop it down. Inhale. So we coordinate our breath with this. Exhale, lengthening and drawing up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Come into straight back. So now we're going to press the knees towards the hands towards the knees, holding tight into this middle section here. So we're getting a little bit of strength coming in. So knees come forward, hands go back, almost as if you're trying to create a roll in your mat. Holding strong, so we're still holding, so maybe one or two more breaths. And then relax into any version of child's pose that you'd like to do. Inhale, lift up. So if on your knees is not available, then you can come into sitting. And of course with any of this, you could come into sitting, and you could also, just so I offer this up, I probably should have said it before, but I just thought of it. So is cat-cow seated, so let's all do that anyways. You can never do enough cat-cow. I think that's the bomb. All right, so hands to the knees, chin mudra, chin mudra. Let's take the first finger and the thumb and point them down. This is grounding. This is getting in touch with Mama Earth, who's having a lot of healing right now. And curl the belly in, round, and inhale, lift through the heart. Exhale, curl and round the back, the belly. Inhale, lift through the heart. One more, curl into the belly so you're rounding the back. And inhale, lift through the heart, and then come into a tall, straight spine. So cat-cow seated is a little different than cat-cow on all fours. And I went through that in my chair yoga video, but anyways, so just sort of follow the instructions and it's all good. So right arm comes up to the sky. We're going to turn. So turn, bring your hand to the left, drop the right arm down and around, press into the earth, press in and lengthen through the spine, lifting up. So even lifting up through like the back of the neck or the center of the head, however you want to view that. Obviously still doing it in comfort, but we're just going to turn the body and the belly and perhaps the shoulders. And if that's enough, you stop. But if you've still got a little more juice there that you want to squeeze out, you know, like wringing out that dirty dish rag, it's good for our organs twists. So we're going to turn to the back and maybe look back as much as you can. Inhale, exhale. And when you come out of this, you do not snap out, you go out slow. Body doesn't like sudden stuff, all right? Unless you're doing like an exercise and you're all toned up and you're prepared for it. But when you're in a relaxed and overstretched sometimes state, you do not snap out of it. You want to just ease and grace, right? Come out of that nice and gentle. Lift up the left arm to the sky. We're going to take the right hand over to the left knee and we're going to drop that back and down. Press into the earth, lengthening through and lifting through the crown of the head again. So each side might be a little different. So just sort of explore. I like to feel spinal twist coming from the bottom up. So I like to make sure my hips are rooted into the ground, that the twist is coming into the belly, that my hand on the knee is not pulling, it's more of a down leverage, so that I'm able to lift the spine. And then the shoulders, you know, if I've got room to give a little more oomph, and I usually use the backhand to do that, great. But if I don't that day, then I listen to my body. Listen to your body. That's what we need to do more of. So we're going to turn the shoulders maybe a little bit, and maybe that head. Maybe I can get my head around it a little more. It's not as much as the other side. I can feel the restriction, so I'm going to listen to my body and just stay here. Do the breathing. Do the work. The work is the breath. Where can I soften in my body without losing the pose? Where can I feel into to gain that kind of, that feeling of lengthening, that feeling of being and opening up the stiff areas in my body. One more. Unwind extremely slow, slower than you think you need to go sometimes. And when you come out of it, sometimes you can feel the rush of blood. It's like, it's really cool. Anyways, I have a lot of humor that I normally teach with. I try and tone it down, but we'll see how it goes with these videos. All right, roll the shoulders. We roll the shoulders. Why not? Simple is good too. It doesn't have to be standing on your head to be effective. All right, so we're gonna roll the shoulders and then slow it down like a million times, like a slow-mo video. Where do you feel that in the shoulders, right? So maybe we'll just take a little bit of movement here and we're gonna just do the elbows and roll the elbows now. So now the arms are coming up into the shoulders, that joint, the humerus is going around into that other muscles and joints and fascia and tendons and tissue. And then release. I'm sure a lot of people are feeling this right now, feeling a lot of stress. So we need to work the muscles on areas that we feel the stress in. Let's take the chin to the chest. So now we're lengthening and stretching the back of the neck. I do like to not really, don't think about it as your forehead down. Think about it as dropping the chin down to a point, lengthening through the back of the neck, and then taking a breath and then further going forwards if that works for you. Let's roll the head over to the right, your shoulder, lengthening down the side of the neck. We're going to reach the opposite arm out. And you may feel this stretch increased. You may feel a little bit more from the neck to the shoulder. Just walk those fingers out, lengthen, hold here. Nice deep breathing in, deep breathing out. And a focus and a concentration. So yoga is so much more about than the asana. These are called asanas. These are seats. So this is a posture or a seat that we take. But there's so much more to it. There's so much more inquiry into the mind, the body, spirit. But this is a gateway for a lot of people into that. So you take it to where you want to go with it, of course, because it really is up to you, and you have to go with what resonates for you. Go to the other side. Drop it down around and stretch out that opposite arm. And allow this beautiful leg thing. Allow for this sort of really nice time and give yourself time to stretch. So many people, they don't really take the time to stretch some of the joints they don't feel are as important, right? We all feel our shoulders, our hips, they make us, our back, but the neck is probably carrying so much tension, and unless you give it the time, you don't get rid of that. It just builds and builds and builds until it becomes a problem. So being a bit proactive, which I think we're all in that vein right now, just try and allow the time for lengthening through these joints and these muscles. So sometimes a yoga practice, even my personal, which I always do my meditation practice, I'm pretty good with that. But my personal yoga practice does go up and down a little bit. And the best way I keep on track for my yoga practice, or my asana practice, I should say, is doing maybe only 2 or 3 things for like half an hour or an hour and just focusing on those areas. So it can get quite intense, but it can be so rewarding too. So let's drop the head, chin to chest, and let's lengthen up and maybe give the shoulders a little shrug or a little roll. So here's a beautiful practice for those undergoing, I was talking about stress, so let's do a little bit of shrug breathing. So we're going to inhale when we lift the shoulders up, and you might want your arms to be a little floppy here, and then you just kind of let them come down. And it's a little, so again, shoulder problems, be nice and gentle, but you can be a little, let gravity bring them down, okay? So inhale, exhale, sigh it out. Inhale, sigh it out. And let's do it for 5 more times in a row, no stopping. Bring the arms up, exhale down into the heart. So another modification if crossed legs are not your friend, you can do a straight-legged position too. But let's take, because I do want these to be shorter videos, mainly because I'm not sure about uploading them. I have to figure this all out. So draw the tummy in, nice tall long spine. We are seated, but we're just going to do a little, you know what, this is my first video, let's do a little square breath. So I sort of introduced that in announcing my studio closing, but let's go more into that. So square breath is, and again, because we're sort of doing this about balance, I just figured that out as I go, but it's all good. So square breath is taking a visualization. We're doing visualization and breath practice at the same time. So it gives a little bit more continuity, I think, and it gives a little more structure when we're first starting breath practice. take 2 fingers or whatever, it feels comfortable for you. So we're gonna, and I do this in kids yoga, so we're gonna draw this out, and you know, aren't we all just big kids at heart? So we're going to, I don't know how I'm gonna, yeah, we'll do it this way, okay. I'll do it backwards actually. And then we're gonna lift, I have to do, well no, I'll do it here. We're gonna lift, sorry, and go over, and come down, and come across. So we're drawing a square, right? So we're gonna, you can just use your fingers, lift it up, and that's your inhale. When you cross over, that's your exhale. When you come down, that's your inhale, or yeah, and then across is your exhale. Hold on a second, I wonder if I have, no, I don't, okay. So let's go, inhaling, exhaling across, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale up, exhale across, inhale down, exhale out, and inhale up, exhale across, inhale down, and exhale out. 2 more times, inhale up, exhale across, inhale down, and exhale out. 1 more, inhale up, exhale across, inhale down, exhale across. Inhale up, keep going with the square. Exhale across, make it red. See glowing lines, continue breathing across where your fingers are going. Inhale up, drawing a red box or red square across. Exhale down, and then across, keep going. So close your eyes, inhale, lift, exhale across. Inhale down this red line and exhale across to meet. Inhale, the red line is starting to glow with a red, beautiful light. Exhale down and across. Inhale up, exhale across. Sorry, I mixed that up a bit there. Inhale down and across. So you keep going with every breath. Let the light, red light, lift and go across. Let the red light come down and the red light across. So let's do it 1 more time. Inhale, red light, glowing, beautiful, bright light comes across. Bring it down and bring it across. Bring your hands just palms up, breathing in and breathing out, closing the eyes. Now see if you can visualize a red square. You can fill this red square in, or you can have it just the outline like we did before. Feel this red square is full of beautiful red light. So square is the symbol of earth, creating stability, creating our foundation. So square is very solid. A square is very safe. It is something we are able to picture probably fairly clearly, hopefully. Keep thinking about the red square and then breathe it in and breathe it out. Just visualizing a red square. Breathe it in and breathe it out. You breathe it in and breathe it out. Breathe It's located at the bottom of the spine, the perineal area, or depending on your lineage, there are other areas too. But we think of maybe perhaps this red square being down and sitting on it, close to the earth. Feel the red square and its stable properties, almost like a box or a cube of solid red. Breathing in and breathing out still. Connect to that visualization. Connect to that feeling of earth, of a stability, finding balance, finding a rootedness, and finding our connection to our family, to our loved ones, or whomever you consider family. Whatever group keeps you in their heart, and whatever group you keep in your heart. Breathing this red light into the body, fill the whole body with a red, beautiful light. Allow this to permeate the arms, the legs, the crown of the head. Breathing in, breathing out. Allow yourself to feel enveloped. Feel cozy, like a safe red blanket. It's keeping you warm, keeping you safe. Breathing in, breathing out. So we'll end our session here, but if you feel so inclined to lay down for Shavasana, please do. I know these are short videos, but hopefully we can gain a little bit of movement and shift of our energies, and feeling into this red light, this red earth element, is sort of feeling into a bit of our fears, a bit of our doubts about the future, and holding ourselves strong, because we are all a family, we are a community, and we do need to take care of each other with gratitude, grace, and kindness, honoring the light that is within us all. I offer you Om Shanti Shanti Om. So if you would like to do Shanti Om with me, it's an Om and 3 Shantis, and it's a little up down on the last Shanti. So I'm going to just do a little chant. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Many blessings to your families, to yourself, to your spirit, and to your health.